The following presentation is part of the Beyond the Blast Doors network.
Yeah, hello. Happy Friday night.
What's happening, Big Fletz?
What's happening, Josh Most, man? I'm just freaking happy to be here on a Friday night, man. It has been...
That's a badass intro to what I guess we can say is a new, I don't know, title, name, whatever, reincarnation. What do you call this? What do you call this?
I don't know. Well, we've been messing with this concept for, I don't know, about a month now or so. And we've been going back and forth with names and stuff. And we've just been having fun with the show, having fun with all the people hanging out with us. And so, we decided it needed an intro. You can't just
and a
click
name.
On and a name.
And
Force
a
Connect.
Name.
What do you guys think of the Force Connect name?
I think I like it. I think it is, connecting with people is what we do here on a Friday night. But I don't know. Maybe we have to play that intro one more time because that music's still in my head.
Do you want me to,
if you didn't, do it one more time. If you didn't air guitar to this, you should. And here's your last chance to do it because we will never play an intro twice again. It's very unprofessional, but it's just so good. I'm gonna unmute so you guys can hear me. Let's go.
The following presentation is part of the Beyond the Blast Doors network.
Let's do this. Yeah.
Hello.
Oh. Come on, Fletz. Yeah. Hit that baseline. Hit that baseline. Ugh. Whoa, we love the Dark Continent. Yeah.
That does get you. It's good. Oh, look at you. You're like all metaled up. Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Not to do a shameless plug, but that song is actually available on Spotify. It's called Dark Side by Silver Colored Knob.
Yes. Totally to do a shameless plug.
Yes. So I put the link. I'm going to put the link in the chat. We are so when you want to jump in and talk to us about Star Wars, please do so. Just click that link. We'll try to pull you in. Yeah.
With the name change, we did have a few. Look, we're going to bring you in. We want to hear your topic hard, fast. We're going to tell you this is what we want to hear from you. You tell us. Then we're going to answer your questions. We're going to talk about what you're talking about. We know you're smarter than we are. We don't need you to show off. No, I'm just kidding. No, but pop in. We want to talk anything Star Wars, but we want to keep things moving too. So we might shoot you out of here. We might push you out before you even have a chance to finish. I'm just kidding.
Whoa.
We'll let that happen too. I don't know, Pete. Calm me down. That music's got me juiced. I'm ready to I'm in a mosh right now.
I'm standing back. I feel like Hey, let's add one other thing to it because we want to get. So first of all, we want to get as many people in here. So go and tell your friends. Go to social media. Go to wherever people are hanging out tonight on the interwebs and tell them. Come and join us. Come and hang out. And if we take your call, which is there anybody we haven't taken? No, there isn't. If we take your call,
wait. The people don't know that, Pete.
I mean, sometimes it gets so backed up that there's
we're like, hey, man, sorry we didn't have time for you next time. It's like
we'd love to,
show.
but
it's like
we got
Tonight Show.
7,000 people, right? But if you get through, we're gonna send you a little BTBD button. Yes, we want you to have this. Yes, But I don't know. What's going on with you? What's exciting in the Star Wars world? What's catching your attention over the last?
Pete, I think we talked about this, and obviously we're coming off the high of the season 2 of Mandalorian. We're coming off this very. We rolled right into a holiday, so there was some interruption of everyone's minds, and I hope all of you out there, and again, thanks for joining us, had a chance to spend time with your loved ones. Or just even yourself and just kind of pause and reflect over the last couple of weeks of the year, which was important. And for me personally, Pete, it felt like a calming time. I got to throw in with my best buddy, Andy, and we got to open some toys together and we put that up last week. So that was fun. For me, it really did. And I know 2020 sucked. but it really did feel a little I don't know, just cathartic. I kind of calmed down a little bit. And so I hope each one of you had a chance to maybe just take it down a notch on whatever level you were at and just enjoy the moment. And so here we are, we're launching in quick into January with all sorts of great fun. But let's move forward. I think we have some exciting stuff to talk about. And I think what we want to talk about tonight is what, Pete? What are we talking about? What's our main topic?
Well, there's a bunch of things. There's High Republic, and Josh and I may not be the most qualified at this moment to talk about it, just because we haven't gotten to it all yet. But we're excited about it because, and we want to hear from you when you check in. Like, what do you think about this as a way to tell the story? Josh, I don't know about you, but to me, this whole thing keeps bringing me back to Shadows of the Empire, brings me back to that kind of thinking from, a multimedia kind of way to tell a story in a time, unlike Shadows, which of course took place in a time that we were very familiar with. This is taking us back a couple hundred years. So what are your thoughts on that? Are you getting any Shadows vibes from this?
I think the concept works. And Shadows of the Empire, I was young when that happened, so I wasn't really connecting the dots, and whoever probably put that together at that time was ahead of their time, in my opinion. It was, and however, now I think that the concept, like I said, really works. I think it a cross-platform kind of launch of any what would we call this? We'll call it we can't call it a franchise because the franchise already exists, but whatever. A cross-platform launch of any idea, let's say, or any new production, I think really works right now. If they catch us in a couple different spots, and you know what? I don't mind being in the know because I decided to pick up a book or a comic book or even a children's book. You know what I'm saying? To kind of grab that little extra information, and by being in the know, I mean just for myself. I have no friends that care about when I brag. I'm like, I tell you what, man, I learned a lot about the Force when I read that children's book. They don't care, and actually they don't let me come to parties because of that. But I think this is a cool approach. It's something completely new.
Yeah,
with a couple tiebacks. At least we have Master Yoda to tie us back and kind of connect us to the Skywalker saga. And then after that, I'm okay with just being completely blind. And to me, it feels like The Mandalorian. We didn't know what The Mandalorian was going to be. We were scared of it. We were crossing our fingers. It is in very good hands, and maybe the High Republic stuff is in different hands right now, but even still, you were like, I don't know what this is going to be. And so I don't know. Pete, how do you feel?
I'm the first to admit that I don't. It's funny. I don't go to comic books first, and it's on last night was the first time watching Beyond the Blasters live when they brought in Marie to do the comic book review that I stepped away because I was like, I don't want to be spoiled. I want to read this, and I read it last night. I read Kevin Scott's the first issue. And I have to say, and again, I'm not a comic book fan. You guys know my feelings on the Kylo Ren comics and things like that. Kevin did a phenomenal job with this. It had sort of that cinematic feel. It felt very Star Warsy. It definitely felt like we were in a different part of that universe. And so I'm excited for that. And I'm going to start reading Charles Soule's book this weekend. Again, any Star Wars, you say this, you sound like a shill, but any Star Wars is good Star Wars. That's not entirely true, but I mean, that opportunity to converse about it and to expand the universe is totally cool with me.
Any Star Wars opportunity is good Star Wars.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that it pans out the way you wanted it to, or even the way you thought it was going to, which is fine with me. I'm easygoing when it comes to that. Not to say I don't have my opinions or things that I'm like, I'll keep them to myself. But but I'm interested. I will say I am curious about the High Republic. Curious enough that I did watch a bit of the panel, or whatever we call that. What do we call that? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was sort of a live
sort of a panel. It was cool to see. It was cool to see all those authors up there. Authors of, by the way, that have been on your show, which is great. We saw Claudia Gray, and like you already mentioned, Kevin Scott, and who was he? You just said Soule. Charles Soule, and a couple others. There was the gal who's doing the children's series, and then I don't know who the gentleman was, but
see, this is how connected we are to the literature side of the stories. But it's what's interesting to me and exciting to me is that it's it's a Star Wars, like it's an event, and again, it doesn't have to be great, but I'll take the event, man. I'll take the event. So
I will as well. And lightsabers and Jedi and a different. So here's what I got from the panel, and then of course we'll bring you guys in.
Yeah,
we'll give you some talking points here. Here's what I got from the panel. What I saw was some very creative minds from the Star Wars universe. Some very creative minds who, by the way, have not made it to the screen before, ever.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
We can say safely that none of those people have contributed to any screen time.
Yep.
I think.
So far, other than Yoda.
Except for, well, I'm talking about the authors themselves, except
yeah.
for that they have, right? Because some of their legend, because some of them are written for legend, and some of their even, kind of adding to screen time has leaked back in with little cameos, so to speak, of their thoughts. So I am a huge fan of Claudia Gray. I think she's very intelligent. I think she really understands the Star Wars universe in her own way, and that's why I like her so much, is because I think she's just in a bubble. She doesn't have any of the politics of Star Wars hitting her. She just thinks about cool content and puts it out there. Not to compare to like the creator, which is Lucas, but to say that she just goes out after it, and she just wants to write good stories. So I'm a fan of hers. So anything she writes, I will check out. And not to say that I loved everything she's done, but it's very well thought out. Kevin Scott as well. I think he's super smart. So that's where we're at right now. If you see all these great minds that have contributed to Star Wars so far, how can you not maybe be hopeful that this new it's a new place? I mean, was The Mandalorian a new place?
Yes and no. I mean, The Mandalorian was a place that we had. I mean, Chuck Wendig gave us some insight into that time in the universe, but not much. It was new because it was after Return of the Jedi and before the next set of films. So we hadn't been directly there. This, though, as you were saying, I mean, this is Jedi in their prime. This is the Jedi that they talked about and were the legends of, before the Dark Times, before the Empire.
1,000 generations.
Yeah.
Or whatever they say.
For over 1,000 generations, the Jedi were the fighting guardians of...
So I think that's cool. And the reason I asked that question, it was kind of a little bait there for you, Pete, is because that's what I'm impressed by, and also a little fearful of, is they almost have to create a completely new universe with just things we're used to, lightsabers and Jedi, and then Yoda maybe being the only tie to the future, which we understand, as far as the Star Wars universe goes. So I'm pretty hopeful that we're going to see something completely new, and I'm okay with that. I'm like, and we want you guys out there. We're going to bring you in soon. Don't worry. We have 4 people waiting to come on.
Yes, we do.
We're going to bring you in to chat, but that's what we want to address right now. Do you think that the High Republic, or what do you think about the High Republic in general? Do you have like one specific thought and then maybe one specific fear? I think that might be a good way to lead people in, right? Like, this is what I feel like it's going to be, and this is what I'm terrified it's not going to be or is going to be. So
how about, before we get to our first caller, let me try to run through and get most of the people who I see on there. I see Gilster and Matthew and Andy Lemire and Paul's Collectibles and Ravens with us, JD Sleeseman, Galanorian Saber. I may have said him already, but I'll say him again. Nick Milkey, Dan the Man, a whole bunch of folks. So thank you for joining us. I'll tell you what, Josh, if we can get over, I'm going to choose a strange number. If we get 27 people watching, I'm watching the corner. If we get 27 people watching, I think, and this is reliant all on you folks in the chat. Go tell people on every social media they can get. I think I'm going to give away.
Oh, wow!
See, I'm good. I'm a giver. This is a dark ray Black Series.
Now I'm a collector, a Black Series collector. I do not have her, so.
Well, perhaps you should enter the contest and get 27
I think I will.
I
think I will. I'm going to log in on my other browser and and view the chat.
Congratulations to Mosh Jost for winning.
Mosh Jost just scored the dark ray.
Yeah. But so go on out and tell everybody on social media, wherever they are, come and join us. Josh, let's bring in our first caller. I'm going to just go in the order that they came in, if you're cool with that. Yep. And our first one is the world famous Dan the Man. Dan, how are you?
Thanks. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Yes, sir. Things are good. How are you gentlemen tonight?
I can't complain.
We are doing well. Good to see your smiling face, Dan the Man. All right, we have 2 questions and 2 questions only.
Okay.
And Dan, you always bring some good insight when you hop on the show. So 2 questions, 2 questions only. The first one is, what are you hopeful about with the High Republic?
I am hopeful that we will see my girl Yaddle. Yeah, I'm very hopeful. I'm sorry, I'm still riding that train, bro. Like,
you are riding the Yaddle train. I mean, it's hashtag Yaddle for life.
But not just her. I want us to put some respect to my boy Y'all Poof, the ear cotton swab Jedi. I hope he shows up too. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're bringing back, like, you grabbed like somebody that has some, the chance of being in this, which would be Yaddle, right? So that's interesting. We know they're long-lived.
And maybe
whatever species they are, we have to call them they. It just sounds very
it sounds kind of rude,
right? Those species.
We don't discriminate around here.
I know, but I don't know what to call them. Yoda's people.
Green, green long-eared dude doesn't.
We can't call them greenies. We can't do that. All right, I don't know what to do.
Oh no, greenie!
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
Golly, maybe Josh should be force pushed out of here right now. What'd you say, Pete? Let's force push him out of here.
Pete said green first. I just followed it up. See, that's how things get started.
Right. Okay. Blame it all on Pete. Yeah.
This is why I'm drinking.
This should be the topic of the show. Is like, what do we call the Yoda species? What do we call them?
Yes.
What's appropriate?
They don't have a name. It is true. But I'm really starting to delve into the Old Republic too. I would really like for them to bring back Darth Nihilus. I like that guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that might be a common theme is like, okay, so we know we're going back to the High Republic, but can you pull something from the Old Republic, maybe an older, an entity that made it into the Old Republic from the High Republic? I don't know what actually, maybe you do, Dan. What's the timeline of the Old Republic versus the High Republic?
The Old Republic is supposed to 1,000 years at least, 1,000 years before, and the High Republic is like 200 years before Episode 1. So it's really only.
Oh, so it's actually Old Republic. They would have to be, I
right.
See. Gotcha.
Yeah, and I heard that they were making KOTOR 3 into canon. I heard that was going to be a thing last year when Fallen Order 2 came out. I read somewhere that KOTOR 3 might be happening as well, but yeah. So we'll see.
Okay. So there's 2 things that you're hopeful about. So what are you scared about from the High Republic?
Yeesh, I'm scared that it might suck.
Dan, that's a softball, man. We're all scared of that. But let's say that I can guarantee it's of a Mandalorian caliber.
Ooh.
What would your biggest fear be? Meaning it's gonna be good, but what are they gonna mess up?
I would say, can they really mess up any type of, because since they never really touched upon that period for real, can they really mess up though? Honestly,
I don't know. I think they can. Pete, you go ahead. I'm talking too much.
I was gonna say, I think that there's a chance that they could retcon something or change something that's been in your own headcanon about what the Jedi were, and I think it's just a matter of, I think I'd be more concerned about the delivery of the story than, because like you said, I mean, I don't want to see anybody other than Yoda, right? I mean, I don't want to hear references to or visions of the future. That I want to stay kind of where it is.
But I understand what you're saying, Pete. But folk really want Pelagus to show up in there too.
Well, that I can live with, actually. That I could definitely live with. So I would.
Yeah.
Well, and that being said, like, Pete, would you be okay with a precursor to something you know about. So a little bit of a nod and wink to like, this is how this developed. I mean, we're going to have Yoda. So Yoda's going to bring some sort of, I don't know if we're going to see Yoda ever again in movie form. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, if High Republic ever, when it shows up that way. I don't know, but I just don't know. I guess maybe that's a good question too. Like I guess we should define it. Like what cinematic impressions or fears or wants do you want out of it? Right now we're going to get a bunch of books and comics. What do we know about the cinema? The on-screen stuff?
Nothing. And in fact, I think they haven't been overtly saying it's not going to happen, but they've been kind of saying that's not where this is going to live. So, but again, if it's successful, and we don't know, some of those series, maybe Visions gives us something. Maybe, they say Acolyte's going to take place at the end of the High Republic, so there's a connection there. So yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's hard to say what we're afraid of because we don't really know enough about what the plan is, but certainly looking forward to things like Nihilus is absolutely a great call.
Yeah.
Maybe we can explore some of Yoda's Professor X-like behavior, because there's always been this underlying theme in the prequels that Yoda and Mace were hiding something and weren't up to any good or whatever. So maybe that could be explored.
That's an interesting thought. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, again, like Pete said, it's Star Wars, so I'm willing to participate long enough to figure out how I feel about it. It does look like the only concern I have is if it's not going to hit the screen, is it really going to hit the fandom all the way? Like even Pete and I are, we came in here admittedly like, all right, there was a panel, we watched the panel, we don't know a lot about this. The books and the comics are dropping. That takes time to read those. It's not like watching a movie. You sit down for 2 hours. You got to, you pick up a book. It's going to take some time. And I don't know. I don't know how I feel. Is it really an impactful part of the Star Wars universe going forward? It looks like they're trying to put some effort into this. So I really don't know.
I really like the trailer. Then the concept of the whole battle for the Force thing. If they don't lie to us like most, like Infinity War did, you know what I mean? If they actually stick to what they're presenting out and buy us on what they're selling, then I think it can be really dope. Yeah.
Right.
I think there's a lot of good stuff. So.
All right, Dan the Man, do you have any final comments before we force push your ass out of here?
Yes. Did I make the cut for that fantasy project? Because I will re-audition myself. I know the lines now.
What am I missing? What's the
last live? The last live I was on.
I wasn't on there.
Oh, who was running that? What was the guy's name who was doing that? I don't know. I'll have to go back and watch the video, and I'll see if we can connect you.
Wait. What are we trying to do here?
Pete and Josh and 7 other people were on this live. It was the Mandalorian. Yeah, it was that live.
Oh my gosh. You're talking about fantasy football?
No.
I wasn't there. Apparently, I was. I was there, but I wasn't there.
Right. Okay.
And we're gonna go back and review the tape, and we'll let you know, because I know you're gonna join us next week. And
send us a message and remind us not on screen here, so we don't look like more idiots. I'm like, is that fantasy football? Yeah, we did talk about making a BTBD fantasy football league, so I wasn't.
You guys are not idiots. You're beautiful Star Wars fans. Okay, all of you.
Thanks,
I love y'all.
This is going to be a very soft force push. Nice. Pete, we got something new too. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Oh, it's so much more fulfilling. I don't know for anyone else except the person we force pushed out. It's just like you got a very nice and calm sparkles. You got sparkles,
and then 6 seconds to cleanse and move to the next,
and move on, and just realize that you have been ousted from the show.
But I think that question about what you're not looking forward to, I think that's a tough one, only because I don't think we yet know enough. But
should we change it? I mean, this is our show, Pete.
Well, no, I mean, let's you know what? Let's just do it this way. What are your thoughts on High Republic? What are you looking forward to? And is there anything that you have reservations about it. Because again, my reservations were what I said. I'm a little bit concerned. I don't want to see too much of what I already know. I want this to be kind of a an independent.
But do you, Pete?
That's true.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. If all of a sudden they come out of the the left wing with just all this kind of crazy stuff we've never seen before, the only drawing factor or the connecting factor being a lightsaber, or do you want it to at least be in parity with what you kind of understand? That's what I'm saying. We have to be careful. Like, I don't want to see something I've already seen before. And I'm not saying that was you, Pete. I'm sorry. I'm just.
I don't.
And I'm not saying that's how I impersonate you, Pete. It's a lot different.
It's a little
whinier. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just saying, like, do we? We don't know what we don't know. We don't know what we want right now. So that's why I like hearing from people like, even Plagueis or whatever. If you're bringing something in that we can understand, or we can go, about, I don't know what that is. I just don't know, because the timeline doesn't really...
Well, and I think that's when Star Wars works best. I think we've seen even over the last couple of years, right? When they do throw us something that we didn't know we wanted and we would have thought we might not have, right? I mean, Cobb Vanth as an example, right? I mean, who knew that we would just love that episode so much and everything? Crate Dragons. If they said we're going to bring in a Crate Dragon,
there you go. I think
we might have been like,
that's a great example.
Really? We're going to do that? That's fan service. But oh my God, that was awesome. Yeah,
it was a cool episode. I mean, Cobb Vanth, I was actually really happy because I went back and read the Cobb Vanth stuff because I was like, man, this really kind of means something, doesn't it? He's got Boba Fett's armor. Not to say I was the only one that thought that, but
right. No, but I mean, and that's one of the cool things is it all works connected. We think we don't want to see it, but yeah. Again, that's what I'm saying. Star Wars has worked so well lately when it's been like, I know you're not sure if you want to see this, but here it is. And how cool is it? I know you guys aren't sure if you want to see Boba Fett back, but now you love him, right?
If it's done right, I guess that's where we're at right now. And I think that's a big challenge for any, because of what's happened with The Mandalorian, where I think it's hard to argue. And they can't, there's no argument. I haven't seen one yet. Right. And I've looked in all the right places. There's no argument that Filoni and Favreau have done this right. And even Luke, I mean, that has to be the touchiest subject you could hit.
Yep.
Especially now after Rise of Skywalker and all that stuff. I mean, it was the touchiest subject you could hit, and they just hit it.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel. Like, that's a big challenge for these people who aren't named Filoni and Favreau. So we'll see, right?
And I think that's the challenge of this whole event is it's not Favreau and Filoni, and how the story group connects will be interesting. But that's let's talk to others about it. I mean, I love you, Josh, but
I know
I want to hear from other people. How about another guy with a beard and a receding hairline? Why don't we bring in JD Sleeseman to the show? How's it going, JD? Good to see you again this week. How are you?
The most deceptive last name on earth.
It's not receding, it's just gone.
Look, I'm very polite. Because I know I'm going to be joining you guys in just a matter of time. But how's it going? How's your new year going so far?
It's going great so far. Just kind of staying out of things and staying safe at home and just loving the new content that's coming out, man. I'm on chapter 17 of the High Republic, and I'm loving it so far.
Are you?
Give us a non-spoiler sort of thought on now. How many chapters? How far? 17 chapters. Is that like a third of the way through the book? Is that halfway through? How far are you? And
I think it's like a third through. I believe. Okay. What I did was I actually I pre-ordered the book, and I haven't gotten it yet. So I went ahead and I bought it on audiobook, and I've been listening.
That's how they get that. That's how they get you.
So I've been listening to it on audiobook, and it's neat. It's different. It's a non-spoiler kind of review of it is that I love the expansion of the force powers they're getting into. That a lot of it came from the EU, and when you read it, you'll understand a little bit better what I mean. But yeah, they're diving into some EU force powers that haven't really been touched on in the new canon.
That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm excited, JD. Thank you. Mm-hmm. I'll read it for that reason right there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're really.
Well, and that's what. I'm sorry. That's what the Dooku. What is that? Dooku
Jedi Lost.
Jedi Lost. I mean, they touched on some force powers in that had never been I'm sorry. It was that. I'm sorry. They touched on some force powers there that were pretty, well, animal control, which then, Clone Wars also did too. So I thought that was awesome.
One of the reasons why I love you guys, the BTBD network and you guys' podcast so much is that I love the continued positivity that comes out of it and the positivity you guys want to continue in 2021. And I'm a liker of the Rise of Skywalker. I know some people aren't, but I liked it. And some of the things in my head when everybody was talking about the discussion with Rey and the Force healing. If you read some of the EU books and the canon, the stuff that came in before, certain powers were only available to certain Jedi who studied those parts, and people had things that they were they had expertise in. And to me, when Rey come up with those Force powers that she could heal, and people were a little upset about it, I was kind of like, it's been something that's been available in the past.
You're right, and let's take it another step further. What color was her saber?
Right,
her ending one.
Yeah,
yellow.
Yep. Which, by the way, was the part of the Jedi that were healers. So I mean, that connection, at least to me, was like, okay, so this just wasn't thrown in there. Unfortunately, for some, it felt like it was thrown in there, when she healed the serpent, but it wasn't. That just almost defined her as what type of Jedi she was, which of course led to Kylo's healing and all that stuff.
It's a great point.
And the other thing I think about it too is that, like you said, with her having a yellow lightsaber and being a guardian lightsaber, which is what they would refer them to, is that they were more people who were practitioners of the Force, and they studied the Force, and they weren't really like combatants or guardians. They were just people who studied it, passed on the knowledge, more like librarians or keepers of the knowledge kind of thing, And so to me, I mean, it really kind of puts her in almost like a Hermione Granger kind of character in the Star Wars universe.
I agree with that. I think and JD, thanks for bringing that up, because I kind of forgot about that. But I do remember when I watched it, I was like, oh, that's cool, because I read some lore on whatever, and the Guardians, like you said, were studiers of the Force, and they were also kind of the healer. I think, I may be wrong. Someone's going to call me like, no, that was the magenta saber. I'm sorry, Kyber crystal, but whatever. Yeah.
So I mean, without giving too many spoilers on the High Republic, and I know there's people that's out there that's already read it, and people are already starting to give spoilers. But for me, that's kind of the neat thing, is the expansion of the Force powers and what the Jedi were capable of in their prime.
Yeah, go ahead, Josh.
So do you think, and JD, you're just sparking my brain right now. So that might be something that we could really look forward to is if we looked at the Force as we know it from the prequels through the OT through the sequels, it's kind of limited, right? Like we just brought up Rey, healing. That was something that had never been seen. However, Mandalorian brings that in with Grogu. Grogu is a healer. He's reaching out, trying to fix things, right? Yep. He was trying to fix Din's injury.
Tried to fix Grief. Yep.
So we're seeing that portion of the Force through the prequels. We saw maybe that they can jump a lot further and fall a lot farther. That was something really a little new. They can go fast. So, and then to expand it, maybe that's something we can really look forward to from the High Republic, is that we might see kind of a delving into the Force in ways that maybe have been lost by the time we get to the Empire era and beyond. So that might be pretty interesting, right?
And there was even parts in the now EU universe where there were Jedi that didn't even really carry lightsabers. They were librarians, gardeners, they were scientists. They used the connection with the Force to increase technologies, to increase things like terraforming. So, I mean, to say that they were just the lightsaber wielding that we've always known, there's actually a greater expansion if you go back to the EU part of it. And, with the High Republic, it looks like they're trying to bring a lot more of that into the limelight and really expand on what the Jedi did as a whole and overall.
I'm looking forward to the the story by Jason Fry about the great Jedi gardener who he used the Force to kill weed. It was safer than Roundup or something.
He's a
kidding. But yeah, so that's cool. So now that you've read
Bantha fertilizer.
Oh yes, it is the best. It really is. Mm-hmm. So JD, you've read 17 chapters. We're gonna ask you one last question. So what do you want to see from this again? We're not sure even what to call it. This program, this collection of content. What's something you want to look forward to? We know it's coming out over several years.
Really, for the High Republic, from what I've seen of it so far, I think the one I want to see the most from it is just kind of an expansion into the backstory and the lore of the Jedi.
Yep.
And the Republic itself. As far as like movies are concerned, or maybe even TV series, I mean, they might be able to, but really what I'm kind of seeing from this is it's more of a kind of a highlighting what the Republic and the Jedi were during their prime. And just expanding upon those the best highlights and the best of them at that point. And I hope they continue to write novels and do comics on that part, just because I think that would be a great way to just a good way to get into backstories about it too, kind of like the Mandalorian does for the Mandalorians themselves.
Yep.
I think this would be a great way to expand the lore and the legend of the Jedi themselves.
Cool.
Well put. JD, as usual, you come in with some hot knowledge. You're teaching us young kids what's going on. Young kids. I don't know. Not us young kids. Right. The young kids. What's going on.
The younger one. Yeah.
No, I love it. I love it. And as always, I love your backdrop. It's fantastic. Sometimes I can't hear what you're saying because I'm trying to see what is over your left shoulder.
Well, every time I'm on with you guys, I try to do a different corner of the room.
You're just spinning around in your room.
Yeah. Every wall has something different on it, so I'm always trying to change the backdrop.
Awesome. JD. All right, you're gonna get a force push out of here. Thank you so much for your participation.
I got one thing for you, Josh, though.
All right, sir.
You, sir, are a very bad influence.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so I participated the other night, and I watched your unboxing of the Smuggler's Run Millennium Falcon.
Oh, that was a great show.
The next morning, I was so fascinated by that thing coming up. The next morning, my Target app come up and said that it was available for purchase.
Oh, no.
Dude,
best purchase you've ever made. Sell one or two of those things that are behind you. They're fine. You can get them back. It's the best purchase you've ever made. I am floored by that. This is not the show for that. Go to the Holo Chronicles, watch our unboxing. But yes, you are absolutely right. I love you. Enjoy. Send me pics when you get it up.
I will do so, sir. Thank you very much.
You betcha. Yeah. All right, force push. Yeah. Oh, man, that guy knows how to get a pin, doesn't he?
He sure does. Remember, if you make it onto the show, make sure to send your mailing address to beyondtheblastdoors@gmail.com, and we'll send you one of these collectible pins.
Woo!
I saw these going on eBay for like $64 yesterday. Couldn't believe it. So
were there 128 of them?
Yeah, there were.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good deal.
So yeah, that's great. Yeah. By the way, the Holo Chronicles shows on Mondays lately, you guys have been just hitting them out of the park. That unboxing, I had to turn it off for the same reason JD kept it on. I was afraid I was going to go onto eBay.
I got to tell you, that unboxing was it was just I didn't care if any of you were there. I don't care. It was so much fun. And then after I was hitting all the buttons. I'm still hitting the buttons. I actually found another spot on it, but I'll talk about that later.
Okay, yes, get on.
Crazy. And I like that I was told by one of our great followers that you put the escape pod in backwards. Yeah, whatever.
You're like, sorry, nerd.
Mr. Wait a minute. Directions. No, he's a great guy, David McFadden. He's like, awesome. And by the way, I was like, well, whatever. What can you do? You go live. All right.
So while we got everybody here, we're up to 22. If we get to 27, we're going to give that Ray away.
Woo, we're almost there. We're almost there.
I just want to mention, we do have a new merch store on beyondtheblasters.com, and if you use the code BTBD10, you're going to be able to get 10% off your order. You can get a shirt like this that says Shriv, a Star Wars story. We're working to get some Holo Chronicles. If you watched
Holo Gears up next week. Sorry.
And if you watch the Holo Chronicles, you saw that vintage shirt that the boys were wearing. That's there. You can get one of those right now. 10% off. Beyond the Blast Doors. Click the merch link. I'm sorry, I am not a very good salesman, but that's the facts right there.
Hey, you gotta get down to our store right now. It's 10% off. 10% off for the next 10 buyers. There you go.
We need like inflatable things. That
pop
along the road. Yeah. But that's that. So, Josh, should we bring in another caller?
Let's do it. These guys have been great so far. We have 2 questions and 2 questions only, but Pete changed them, so it's just some questions.
It's a question. It's a conversational quickie, if you will. I don't know what that is, but hey, if you're into conversational quickies, that's our show next. I don't know. Maybe that's the Bombad.
That's all I've been getting lately.
Live. Okay, I'm gonna bring up Apprentice Ewok because he's next on the list, and he's all in on this stuff. So I'm really excited to hear what he has to say. Ladies and gentlemen, Apprentice Ewok. How are you, Brandon? What's going on, brother?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
I like that now we've got his name up and then in parentheses Brandon. I mean, right. Have you ever walked down the street and people are like, "Whoa, what's up, Apprentice Ewok?" Like, shut up, there's girls around. Have you ever done that or no? All right.
No.
Actually, that's a question that I want to. Next week's topic, I want to be like, how do you manage your Star Wars nerddom? Because on a Friday night, we're all here, but you should, if this wasn't pandemic, maybe you'd be out in public. How would you be dealing with it? But let's do that later. Brandon, how much are you loving High Republic, man? I see you like posting about it, and I see you you're really into it. What's your thoughts, man?
It's really helped because I've been in quarantine. So I've finished everything. No, it's all good. I finished everything that they've released to the public so far. So yeah.
Well, Josh and I are going to step out, and you can take the next hour. And
we apologize.
But no, I absolutely love it. Just like JD was saying, they're exploring some of those force powers, and it's really cool. I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody because I hate spoilers, but like the book, the Light of the Jedi is broken into like the 3 different parts.
Okay.
And the first third of the book, I didn't set it down before I finished the first third.
Yeah. Wow.
So it.
Oh, very cool. That's exciting. That's exciting. So you're saying it's well written.
Oh yeah.
Good. Yeah. Good.
Yep.
And did you read? I'm sorry, I'm just going to interrupt you because you're just talking about the book. But you read Soul's comic books, right? The Vader and the Kylo.
Yes.
Right. How is he better comic writer or is he better novelist?
Better novelist.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Cool. That's good.
Well, I mean, as if you're a comic book writer, you got to think in thought bubbles, and that's not the easiest, right? You also got to. Well, let's be serious.
It's a different skill, though.
You got to pare it down. You have to be able to convey something that is also being conveyed with the the cell, right? You get like the cell says this much, and then you have to say that much. So,
right,
I'm interested.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm sorry. So I cut you off. So give us your non-spoilery thoughts on everything.
No. And my biggest concern was when they were marketing it, the way that they described some of the things. When they called the Neo the space pirates,
right?
There's so much more than that. And reading it, it was just like, man, they did it a disservice by saying it's space pirates, because people are going to go, oh, like swashbuckling, like whatever, like we're just going to see like a pretty lame villain, but it's much more of a crime syndicate. Very, very cool, very cool group.
Not like ice pirates, which are not as cool.
Right.
Golly,
or pirates
dating myself.
Dance.
Yeah,
I'm really dating myself. But so as a fan of stuff that's not in the books, like if you're just a fan of the films or Mandalorian or Rebels, Is it easy to jump into this, or do you feel like you gotta work your way into it? And are they making the right kind of connections to make it easy for people who don't normally read the books to get into it?
There are references to planets that we see throughout the saga, and it's a very different experience.
Tatooine. I'm just kidding. That's too much.
No. But
sorry, Brandon. I always throw you off.
It's all good. It's all good. Everything feels very Star Wars, like the way the new Jedi fighters, the ships, the way. And I saw Jared the Dark Jedi's tweet, and it was explaining that one of the lines from the book is one of the Jedi is saying, like, they are. I forget what it is, and I'll slaughter it. But these Jedi are really cool, but they could be even better. And you almost see a clear difference between the Jedi in this book and what we see in the prequels.
Okay. Okay. That to me makes it a little more interesting. But I will say that the Jedi in the prequels were all side characters. They were all actors, around Anakin and Obi-Wan. And I guess we can go Mace and Yoda if you want to go deeper, but all of them were a little like we didn't get enough, right? If you really wanted to, you're like, how does this Jedi react? How does that? So I guess from the High Republic, I could be excited for. Let's really, like we said with JD, let's really dive into some Jedi characteristics that we've never seen before.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
And another cool thing is you're seeing Jedi of different species. And the way that they're introducing the characters throughout the book, and then even this is like reading the movie, and then this is like an episode of the TV show. It's a offshoot story where those specific characters in that book get their development.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Very good plug, Brandon. I hope that they give you some royalties for that. But thank you. Do you have anything that you were worried about? Sorry, Pete.
No, guys, because I was going to ask. Hey, Josh, you and I are on the same wavelength.
I know that's a problem. Is all this, but I talk louder. Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Brandon. Anything that maybe you're concerned about? Something that, or it doesn't have to be a concern. Maybe it's a hope. Maybe it's something that you want to flourish from the High Republic that might hit the screens. Like, let's hope they flesh this out. Is there anything there yet?
I want to see it in some sort of live action. I know we're going to get the end of it with the Acolyte, but just the aesthetic of this era is so cool. The gilded, the everything looking pristine. The kids book that comes with it has stickers and images and stuff like that. And I love the artwork. I love the art of the comic. I thought the comic, it's all pretty great. Yeah.
Well, awesome.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right, Brandon. As usual, you bring it, man. Thank you, Pete.
Thank you for being out here. Hey, and I'm going to see you soon because I got the headset for the VR, so we'll be playing Voodoo Squad in VR, and I'll vomit. So it'll be fun for everybody. Especially.
Here's what I want, Pete. What I want is not like a recording of what your gameplay looks like.
Right.
I just want a recording above your TV of you with that thing on, going like. I just want that. I just want the ridiculousness of what is going to happen while you're playing. That would be far more entertaining than you getting your ass shot down by everyone that flies.
No, I think you're right. That's going to happen no matter what. Let's add a little of that. So, all right. Well, cool. Well, I guess Brandon, we're going to give you a gentle, polite force push out of here. So,
sounds good.
It all seems very force pushy when we do that now.
I know it's very dramatic.
It's so dramatic that I'm just like,
oh, we're back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, nobody ever gets slammed against a blast door when we force push them out.
All right, I'm gonna have to put in some new sound effects that match that heavy metal start. So all right, hey, let's bring in somebody who we've seen around and hasn't been able to join us. I want to bring in Gilster. Gilster is a supporter we've known for a while, so let me bring him in and let's say hello.
Here he comes.
There he is.
Oh, I've been so excited. I'm going to stand up and clap for Gilster.
What's happening?
Made it. How you doing?
Oh, Gilster, I love you so much, and I only love you from text. So it's so good to see your beautiful
you're a
face,
person.
sir.
That's me.
And you know, I need to say, you have the where did your icon come from? Because you got the 37 in your Mando helmet. What's that all about?
Gorgeous.
I gotta ask.
What, the 37?
Yeah.
Kevin Smith. Where I'm at, the college, 37 is near my area. So yeah, sorry.
That's so it's something very personal then to you, right?
It's just when I was a programmer that it just stuck with me. So it's my favorite number, and there's just a whole bunch of reasons. So
awesome. Well,
Gilster,
use it.
I absolutely adore you, so I'm so glad you're on here. Welcome.
Yeah.
All right, tell us.
Right now, hey,
yay! Well, hold on, Gilster. Can I repeat a comment that you made when you made it on YouTube? I'm not trying to throw you out there, but I love it because you said it yourself. You put it out there on the internet, so I just want to say it. But you were talking about I think it was a Mandalorian helmet we were reviewing, and your comment, which just cracked me up to no end, was, "But will it fit my freakishly large head?" I can't even say it without cracking up. I just love that. I love it. I got a big head too, man. And so, yeah, you're right. You're like, oh, you got to stretch it out to pull it on there. Yeah. And thank you, Gilster. Thank you for that. You bring us joy every time you're on. So without, gushing too much over actually Pete, right? I mean, we're meeting Gilster here.
I mean, he's here all the time and we never see him. This is great. This is a highlight of my Friday.
Can I do a shout out real quick?
Sure.
Shout
it out.
Hey, Colton, hope you're doing all right, man. Hope you're holding in there. All right?
We are too. Is Colton okay?
I hope he's all right.
He's in a hard time right now. I work with him at work, so.
Well, we'll send him some a force healing.
Right. We'll do a little.
You don't have a graphic for that, Pete? You don't have
I do not yet. We'll work on it.
Come on, Pete. All right. There it is. There we go. He's rubbing the screen.
Yeah. Grugo.
All right, Gilster, do you have anything you want to talk about with the High Republic or otherwise? We don't care.
Anything, yeah.
I haven't really read the books. I don't have time. I'm always at work all the time. If I'm not at work, I'm always there, so sorry.
So maybe
that's all the super chats, man. Hey guys.
Hell yeah, you are.
Super chats. Come on, guys.
All right, man. All right.
We love you.
Super
That's
chats,
that's not why we love you, but
you're all welcome to do super chats, by the way. Those are totally legal. But Gilster, so maybe since I get it, man, it's hard to find the time to read the books or even the comic books. What's the one thing before we let you go that you're looking forward to, that you're sort of putting as your next milestone in Star Wars stuff that you can't wait for?
Waiting for man, put me on the spot here. Shoot. Everything. I like it all, man. I'm just like, my favorite thing about Star Wars is the community. All of us.
Awesome.
Talking Star Wars. That's my favorite thing. It's all of us. But I'll say the Kenobi and Rogue Squadrons. I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
It's like another Rogue One to me. That's what I'm waiting for. So, yes. And the toys that come with it. So,
yeah, we can see a bunch of stuff behind you, man. It looks like you got a good collection.
Gilster, look at that room. I love Gilster's room.
Has he done a show me your collection yet, Josh?
Gilster, were you? Yes, he has. Gilster, were you just getting on here to flex that room a little bit? Were you? You're just going to do one eye and most of your room? I was just saying, were you getting on to flex that room a little bit, which you should? Yeah. A little hat, little room.
Club represent.
There you go.
Well, Gilster, we appreciate you so much. I mean, you are the man, and your support for us and the network are beyond awesome. So thank you. Do you have anything else you want to add before we graciously force push you through the back wall? So you're gonna have to replace that wall, but because we're pretty powerful.
I really don't have much. I figured I'd show my face, just. May the force be with you guys.
May the force be with Gilster. If you all could be like Gilster, as positive and as happy and supportive.
Positive, yes.
There you go.
Spark
the positivity.
I love you guys.
I love you too, man.
The best decision I ever made is to join the founder of the BFFT.
Thank you.
BD, yeah. Sorry.
Wait, we can't say it either.
I
man.
can't say it either. I have to be honest with you. I like to say it long form, Beyond the Blast Doors Network, or else I'm like BTBG9. That's what happens every time. It becomes a droid. All right. We will see you later. Gilster! Gilster was here. That was so much fun. I love that guy so much.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That was really cool. That's one of the amazing things. That's why I love this live thing we do, because Gilster has been around and he's one of our earliest supporters, and he's always got something positive to say. It's so great to be able to get him on the show and be able to say hi and meet him.
Yeah, 100%. We get him in the private chats. I mean, he's just a great guy. He's a great guy that loves Star Wars, and I think that's what I mean, if you want to learn anything from anyone, learn from Gilster on how to love Star Wars without, being pissed off. So
absolutely, yeah.
All right, Pete. I don't know. We've gone down this trail for a while. I think we have other people that want to talk about High Republic. So I don't want to. Let's not talk anymore. Let's bring our next person in.
Yeah, let's do it this way. Let's just High Republic or whatever the hell you want to talk about.
Yeah,
it's Star Wars night. You get 2 points, and then you win. All right, here we go. Let's bring in all remaining systems. Michael, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing real good.
Excellent. Good to see you. You got the microphone. You got the cool hipster hat once again, which
I do, as always. It's to hide the fact that I don't do my hair at all.
Well, I should get
That's
one.
That's why I wear a hat. It's to hide the fact that I don't have hair at all. Wait, you say do your hair? Oh, that's
Well, whatever this.
I do have hair. It's just not presentable.
All right. You always have good insight, Michael. You always have a good take. What's your take on the High Republic?
Well, I'm only about JD was 17 chapters in. I'm only 16 chapters in, so he's one step ahead of me.
Hey, it's not a race. It's not a race.
I was racing through it the day it came out, and then real life stuff happened that sort of got in the way.
So, what's your thoughts so far? Your non.
I'm really enjoying it thus far. The only major complaint I have is there's just a lot of characters that's kind of hard to keep track of. But I'm sure the more it goes on, it'll be easier to keep track of it. But I'm really enjoying it thus far. Mark Thompson does a great job doing the audiobook.
He's the best.
If
there's only a pretty good job doing the intro for the network.
That's true too. It's crazy how you get him to do it every time too.
Yeah, I know.
He's got a busy schedule.
He's got stuff to do on Fridays, but no, he'll just show up.
He's he's in the next room and he comes by. He does it.
Mark, get the Mark, dude. Thank you, but we're done. All right, I'm gonna force push you out.
We don't have him on the show just because he talks and talks and talks.
Oh, you can do another voice, Mark.
You can't ever get him to stop.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so sorry. Go ahead. What did you?
I was gonna say I do have one. I don't know if it's a complaint yet because again, I'm not very far into
our
it.
First negative. No, I'm just kidding. No, complaints aren't negative.
I would say it's more of a concern than a complaint. And again, I'm not very far in. So.
Bring it. You want to hear it?
Is the High Republic maybe too close to the movies in the timeline rather than being farther back like the Old Republic was? Because like Dan the Man was saying earlier, Old Republic's like 1,000 to 5,000 years before the movies happen.
Right.
And this is only 200 years before the movies.
Right.
And I don't know. It hasn't really come up as being weird in listening to the book thus far, but I wanted to hear your guys' thoughts on that.
Let me ask you this. When you watch Gettysburg and when you watch Platoon, do you feel like there's too many connections? I don't know. That was just my timeline going out there. That was I don't know.
I think here's my thoughts on it. At first, when I first heard the timeline, I thought, just like you, I thought it was too close. But now that I see that they're tying it to Acolyte, and look, I saw some people whining about changing the name of the prequel era to the Fall of the Jedi.
That was stupid.
I'm all for that, and I think, but I think it does a nice job of kind of tying it together. And I think we'll get eventually we'll get a Knights of the Old Republic kind of thing. I think that stuff will continue, but I'm only concerned about it if it ends up making it too close to everything else we already know and already see. So
I guess the question I would ask is, do you want to see Star Wars content for the next 20 years?
Let me think about that for a minute, Josh. That's a heavy question.
Yeah.
Of course, everyone does.
Of course. So I think, look, if we were to look at, no matter what your feelings on Disney, they are a organization that knows how to take a brand and stretch it across many years. How many years has Disney been around? So, what I'm seeing right here is like, yeah, let's pop back and let's insert ourselves in a timeline that is essentially vacant, and let's call it the high Republic. Fine. So that, I think Old Republic's wide open. I think we'll see Old Republic in the next 10 to 15 years. I mean, they have to go back there. And by the time they get there, here's what's the unfortunate thing. By the time they get there, all the people that have played the games and all that stuff will be long in the tooth, and maybe they won't know as much as they do now, but they'll still be pretty excited about that experience. So, I don't know. I take it as like, I'm okay with them filling in the gaps on their way back. I'm okay with them filling in their gaps on the way forward. I'm okay with them filling in the gaps with the Mandalorian. I mean, that is a great gap filler. Rogue One, great gap filler. So I think they know what they're doing in that regard. Whether it comes off right or not, we'll see.
Yeah. I agree, and I like I said, I don't think it's bad. I just think it's kind of interesting that we're treating this kind of new era being way closer to the movies than we're used to new eras being.
It's true.
Yeah,
very true.
I think the softball was Old Republic. I'm not sure why they didn't take it. I think the softball for fandom was Old Republic.
Because that's what they were doing before the Disney buy-in, was they were doing a lot of stuff with the Old Republic, with the MMO, and they had a whole series of novels that were coming out.
I think they're doing it because they want to tie it and keep that familiarity. And, just like the Game of Thrones prequel, which is coming out in 2022. I don't know how many years difference it is, but I do know that they're trying to connect it, be able to make those connections to the more recent series. I think this is that kind of thing as well. And it could also, one of the reasons, crazy thought, one of the reasons that they may be doing it this way is they want to test to see if people want to go back and kind of see what the reception might be from fans. And we've talked about it before. I don't know that the books and comics are going to be the thing that brings the average common fan into this era of Star Wars. So it's a very interesting experiment, I think, that they're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
I do. And like we've said a couple times, it's a risk, right? They're going into a new era, and maybe we're only going to get kind of this backlog or backstory, and then the Acolyte is their kind of dive into completing it. But I'm with you, ARS. I don't know. I mean, but again, do you think that maybe they thought that the EU is a little played out for Old Republic, and then they get too much lash back or whatever from trying to go there and do it right? People will be like, no, when I played the video game, it was like this and it was like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I will say that in the old Legends timeline, I will say it was always kind of weird that Star Wars in-universe technology never changed for 5,000 years between the Knights of the Old Republic and the movie. All the technology is exactly the same. It's just a little bit more polished, I guess, by the time you get to the movies.
Well, it was weirder how in the prequels the ships were way more advanced than when we got the OT. It was like a dark times, right? Yeah. So
right.
I don't know. That's a good point. I'm with you. Anything else you want to add to the Old Republic, Michael, or the new High Republic?
High Republic.
Old Republic. There's too many republics.
Yeah,
let's just go with the First Order, and then it'll all be so much simpler.
There you go. That would be easy.
No, that's about all I have to say on High Republic, because again, I'm not very far into it, but I'm really enjoying it thus far. And I'm hoping to read more of the books here soon. So.
Awesome. We'll make sure we'll see how far along you get next week, I'm sure. So
hit the tweets with your progression, and maybe we'll have you on to give us a book review.
All right.
You and JD side by side. We'll just back off.
Yeah, we'll go. Yeah, it'll be great.
There you go.
All right, Mike.
You can get Brandon to do it all right now. So
he's ready.
Brandon, just to correct you guys.
Exactly.
Oh man. All right, buddy. Well, thank you so much for hanging. We'll see you next week, I'm sure. And in the meantime, let's force push him out. Let's do it.
Sorry, I was doing I'm doing a Brit. I said Britney push. How'd you like that? That was a Britney.
I don't. What is that? Okay.
Britney Spears. I don't know.
Push me, baby, one more time. Is that what that is?
Whatever.
God,
don't ever say that again.
Strange. All right, I'm so sorry. So
all right, let's keep it moving.
Let me ask you though, Josh, before we bump, we're gonna bring in our next caller in 1 second. Are you getting excited? How is this going for you? Like, has this changed your thinking at all on the High Republic, or like
hearing from our callers? Absolutely. I like JD brought up the fact that we might see some different force abilities, which I always find very compelling. And other than that, I'm mildly interested. I don't have to love this. Nobody has to love this. I think if you're really in, you're probably going to follow this so that you can be up on the times. And it's Star Wars, like you said. It was interesting. I'm not the biggest fan of the artwork.
Yeah, it's a very different look.
I'm not the biggest fan. I do feel like, okay, we're getting this very like kind of brushed through, very rushy. Like I think of Wind when I see that artwork. You know, it's but it doesn't give me like this like really solid look. Like I don't know, and maybe that's I was a comic book fan as a kid, not a huge one, but one that picked up graphic novels and read them and enjoyed them multiple times. But I'm not the biggest fan of the artwork, so I just don't know. That's why the High Republic's kind of brought me back. Is the first time I saw that logo, above that artwork, I thought children's book. I thought Hardy Boys. I thought that's what I thought, and I'm like, we'll see. So I'm trying, and that's why you and I got on here. It's like, okay, convince me that this is something that I should put my time into. Yeah. Now I'll put my time into it anyway, but I've got some awesome Vader comics I haven't made it all the way through. And
I think that's one of the things too. And I think one of the things that it's an interesting choice for that reason, right? Because I know that one of the things that's great about Star Wars is that lived in universe that sort of slightly beat up and slightly used and so to see everything new and shiny, even newer and shinier than Naboo and prequels it's an interesting feel. It's an interesting look. So
that's a good point. Naboo and prequels brought us this kind of new, shiny, really refined looking, non-Millennium Falcon Slave One look. It was like, wow, there's a starship that just like is silver. It's beautiful. It's Mercury flying through the air, but. And I'm okay with the High Republic. I mean, if you go with like a Wonder Woman type of, connection where, this amazing armor and all this stuff where you're looking at like, this is how it was. And really the Jedi that we see now are just Ronin. They're just a devolved, they have none of the backing that they used to have. And that might've been even the kind of Jedi, even though they were in a high tower, we saw in the prequels, that maybe they're not as awesome as the Jedi from this era. So again, I don't know. Old Republic might have already put that in there, but who knows? Who knows, man?
We'll check it out. Well, hey, let's bring in somebody who joined us for the first time last week and has become very active in all of our conversations on social media lately. Let's bring in Jackson the Leppy. Hey, Jackson.
Hello.
How are you, man?
Can you guys hear me all right?
What? No, yes, we can hear you.
Oh, good. Okay. I just got a new mic because the other one didn't work that well.
It sounds you were going to be beautiful. On our show.
Get the hell out. Oh, stop it, Josh.
Oh,
stop it.
Oh, go on.
I love your background. I love that whenever the first time and the last time we had Jackson on, he's just got screens going on in the back and he's just like, hello. Oh, sorry.
I have attention problems. I have attention problems. Yeah.
He's like a neater version of the guy from Jurassic Park. If you,
yeah, exactly. No, my life is basically.
He has Din Djarin just pulsing to his right.
Yeah, what's going on there with the pulsing Mandalorian photo?
Did you just create a screen just to pulse?
No, so I think it's Dennis Yan is the artist, and I want to say it was the print was from Bottleneck Gallery or gray matter. One of those, I forget, but it's a lenticular. And somebody did a tutorial of how you make it a light box. You basically, get one of those shadow boxes and put the LED lights behind it. The thing is amazing. I'm like, I need to buy every lenticular now. Remember what I said last week about not buying stuff? No.
Every lenticular. You have now bought something that most people don't have in their vocabulary. You're like, you know what? I'm going to buy a lenticular.
No, I drop Josh. I'm dropping in that in every conversation. Have you seen my lenticular today?
Pete, I actually want to go through.
That's a great way to meet people. Sorry,
and a great way to get a restraining order too.
Sure. Pete, I want to go through a scenario with Jackson that I think would work with his current view. Yeah. It's where I'm in the engine room, right, and I am contacting you. You're the captain right now, okay? Pete, you look very captain-esque. You're going to contact targeting to see if we can pull the power to do this. So that's Jackson. So I'm like. So, Captain, I've diverted all power to the laser systems.
Engineering, can you help us out? We need all power to the laser system.
Not now. I'm watching pornography.
Perfectly played.
There we go.
And ladies and gentlemen,
and scene. And I'll never be asked back
very
again.
Good. No, you're back anytime. I love it.
No, you just secured your spot forever.
I'm hearing humming like I'm on the Enterprise right now.
Oh yeah, no. If you put your face next to the deck plating, you can feel the stars flying by. It's amazing. Oh my God,
that's mixing.
It's transparent aluminum.
I got you. All right, let's bring it back. Sorry, that's my own joke. And thank you, Jackson. Jackson, he knows how to close a joke with pornography. Anyway, what do you want to add to this conversation, my friend, that you haven't added already?
Right.
So first of all, next week I'm not going to have any background. I'm just going to be in front of a brick wall. This is like every time I'm on now, it's like the first 20 minutes is like, what the hell's going on back
It's
there?
only because we're jealous.
I know. You guys have great backgrounds too. But I am excited about the High Republic. I started the audiobook. I'm about 2 chapters in. Obviously, things are happening in the world. I got to keep an eye on. I bought
you. You have to keep an eye on. Like, are you like head of security somewhere?
Can you imagine him spinning around? It's like,
yeah. Listen, I told you already, Pete. I got pornography on here. I got to keep an eye on it. I like it so far. I don't have enough to make a good evaluation. I bought the comics. I love my local comic store. I actually put a couple of shifts in. In the holidays a couple years back, and so they take care of me, and they set aside all 5 of the variant covers.
Nice.
And so I'm like, so I'm gonna dig into that this weekend. But I think the true test of success will be, in my opinion, is how it catches on with some of the younger fans. Yeah. And I'm not talking about the 30-year-olds. I'm talking about the 20-year-olds.
Like me.
Well, yeah, and also I'm interested in seeing how the young reader novels perform. Some of the actual the middle grade novels, because between the 3 of us, we could probably between the merch that we've purchased, we could probably support a small country.
Sure.
And I think there obviously are 2 different halves to this. There's the artistic end and the commercial end. They obviously go together, and you wonder if this is going to be something that's going to sustain the fandom and actually create new fans, because I don't know if people are going to get excited about Luke Skywalker in 10 years or 15 years, but they might they might get excited about Avar Chris. Did I say that right? Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned.
Thank you. But so that's going to be the true test, and I'm interested to see how that plays out. I think libraries have a big a lot to do with that. School libraries, the school book fairs, that kind of thing, and certainly the comics. I'm actually one thing I forgot to tell you guys last time is I'm doing some of the IDW reviews for the Tatooine Times.
Oh, nice!
And I'm I'm hoping to do that the February issue. So I'm looking forward to that. And those titles in the IDW world tend to target more younger readers, but they're great. They're high quality. Obviously, Kevin Scott is a veteran from that end.
Yeah, Kevin crushed it with the comic book.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and you know, I'm fortunate to have him as a mutual on Twitter. He's a great guy, and if you talk to him enough, you see what he posts and whatnot. He absolutely grew up on the Marvel, Star Wars comics. I mean, obviously he brought back Jackson and a host of other characters, but like the kind of the ethos, the mindset of just like, you know, we are blessed with a sandbox that, you know, the great one gave us. Yeah. What can we do with it that will, you know, that will honor it, that might push the boundaries a little bit? That's the kind of guy he is. And he's got a, you know, he loves Star Wars, and I think that's important.
I think
that's
very important. You know?
I
think that's the point. That's the point I was trying to make earlier with him. Is like, look, if they love Star Wars, there's not just hired professional writers that can take a good plot, they can take a good story and put things in it. No, you got to talk about somebody that understands the difference between this minutia or that. You know, it's very, very cool. So.
And you have to tell it in a way that you care about it. Like in reading the comic book, I won't do spoilers or anything with the comic book, but like you do care about the characters pretty quickly. And I was surprised because like I said before, some of the comic book stuff I just can't get into. I've tried. And Cavan, I think, was the best choice because he did such a great job with Dooku Jedi Lost. He knows how to write in that. I mean, the man wrote a Back to the Future Transformers crossover comic book. If you can do that, you can write Star Wars.
Listen, IDW is and I hope they continue. I know that they've had some kind of significant creative changes up at the top level in the past few years, but I really hope they keep that kind of batshit crazy mentality. You know, I mean, the My Little Pony /ROM mashup. I mean, I love that. That's the kind of thing like, you know, that's what comics are for. Comics are a great medium for that kind of insanity. And you know, he loves Star Wars. He honors it, but he also is. I think he is. I expect him to be the kind of guy that knows how to take it to the next level, to to push the boundaries, and also to show us things about Star Wars that we might not necessarily have thought, but like that really fit into it. You know. So I'm absolutely excited about him, and all the other creators are fantastic. They seem to be fantastic.
That whole philosophy that you just laid out there, Jackson, was exactly what I saw kind of in the panel when they're showing shots from Skywalker Ranch. They're all around a table. I'm like, oh man, I would love to be the guy that just wrote stuff down on the whiteboard for them. You know, like continue. You know, I mean, that is a collection of minds that truly enjoy Star Wars. And it's outside of Disney. They brought them in, you know. So I mean, this is exciting. So I guess if I were to talk about the High Republic or anything going, forward, these are really intelligent people that love Star Wars. So I'm with you 100%.
Is there any lookouts that you're concerned about at this point?
Lookouts?
Yeah, anything you're concerned about? Anything you think?
Yeah, watchtowers. See things coming.
Hold on a second.
Engineering.
We need to look at.
The computer says all systems nominal.
You'd be concerned about, worried about seeing so far.
Not at the moment. I mean, I guess I need to get through the book, and I think a few issues in the comic, and then and to see a little bit more about what the next novels have to offer.
Yeah.
Because I think it's too early to tell what I think the art associated with the comic looks great. The original concept art, I think you guys are talking about it.
I have trouble with it. Yeah.
It seemed like it was one person doing that, right?
It's breathy. It's breathy, and it's like you did it really fast, and then I mean, there's an artistic point to it, but it didn't.
But also, this is Star Wars. This is Disney. They probably were given a very small amount of detail that they could provide, and so it's nebulous, a little bit nebulous, but as we delve deeper into the stories of all these characters, I'm hoping that kind of thing corrects itself. But I don't really have any concerns at the moment. I do think that it's important for, again, I'm not always going to be here. And it's going to be nice to know that the kids are enjoying it.
Can I have your figures when you're gone?
Jerry already, I
want you to stay around forever, but
thank you. Yeah. You're measuring my casket. Yeah. And no, as soon as I got off, as soon as you guys force pushed me, I heard a knock on my door. It's Jerry. He's like, how you feeling today? You don't look so good.
Yeah. You okay? It's sweating a little bit there, bro.
Yeah. You been coughing lately? You been coughing?
Thank you so much for your good humor and your excellent insight and your amazing background. We will never stop commenting on that. As a matter of fact, step up your game, bro. Next time you come on, you better be ready to go.
I have another screen in the background. So
I bet you do. I like how your camera angle is like somebody mounted a hidden camera in your office and you're just now finding it.
For the point.
Which is, it was you. It was you, wasn't
who's
it?
Who's talking to me?
You.
Get out of here.
You, Jackson. All right.
This conversation's over.
We're gonna morality push you out of the room.
I'm ready.
All right.
Be gentle, boys. Be gentle.
Thank you so much for joining us.
All right. Have a good night.
That's a good dude right there. I like that guy.
We are building. I will say this: we are building a great group of people hanging out with us, and so much fun.
That's a good dude right there. Hey, can we do a double force connect right now? Can we bring in our own Jerry?
Yes,
there he is.
Oh!
Wait, there he is.
Whoa! This is insane, guys. What's going on? I got like that. I was like sucked out of hyperspace or something.
You're okay.
Like I don't know.
The great catastrophe.
He's still.
Man.
He's still using a durable on a mouse wheel for that internet though. So.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh,
Jerry.
What?
What?
It's coming through fine for me.
Tell your mom to get off the phone.
Mom, I'm trying to use the internet.
No,
it's Hold on, my mic.
It's calming down.
There we go.
All right,
my mic isn't even plugged in, so that's how you know I'm a pro.
Yeah,
that's so funny. And you want to bring in Mr. Milkey?
Yeah, let's bring in Milkey.
Sure. Now it feels like
okay.
Oh my gosh, it's the battle of the beards right now, guys. Everyone, hold on. I'll go this way.
Rick.
Pete. Let's rub beards. Other way, Pete.
Oh wait.
Beard rub.
All right, that's a little
Jerry.
Jerry throws.
Jerry's always late. Nick, it's on your ear now. It's on your ear. All right. Whatever. What can we do?
Jerry's like the Max Headroom of the Beyond the Blast.
Yeah. JD wants back in. He's about to bring the beard hammer.
Oh man!
This is the last time by internet from freaking Fandom Menace.
Yeah, it's all right. It's okay. How's everybody doing? You guys, we're glad to have you both here. It's been Nick changed his name to Rick Milkey.
Yeah, why is your name Rick?
You're wearing Clark Kent glasses. Are you running away or something?
I'm definitely not Nick Milkey, because last night the actual Nick Milkey got banned from Tonight by David Amilati because he made a Toro Calican joke.
So that's why you have Mr. Rick Milkey.
I'm not Nick Milkey. I'm Rick Milkey, his better brother,
his dad. Well, let me tell you a couple things about your son, sir. Yeah.
That's
you don't want to do that.
That's like, hey, for those of you who may have missed it, on Tuesday, Nick was not Rick, but Nick was our guest on Beyond the Blast.
Rick's illegitimate son.
Yes, and we had a blast. But thank you. When you see Nick, please let him know. We were very happy.
I'll be sure to tell him. I know he had a blast, and I know he's he's re-listened to it, and you and I have to talk off screen another time.
Guys, hang on. Really quick, I'm going to see if I can do something.
I may request a formal do-over.
Really quick, I'm going to see if I can do something about Jerry's internet. Engineering, can you check on? Can you check on Jerry's internet, please? Things
Jenny's pattern is frozen in the matrix.
All right, hey, just get it done. Just get it done.
Hold on, I'll get some salt water and some Vaseline.
All right, well,
here,
I don't know what's going on here, but it just seems like
Josh, I got to say that was risky. That was
you know what? It's a live show. Let's give it a shot.
That was freaking amazing. I figured out what's wrong with my internet. I need more gin.
Hey, you know what? Jack,
every time.
Before I forget, I just found out. I just was given a communique from I don't know. I'm not even that creative, but in the chat right now we have D. Raven Spencer, who
Raven's in.
Apparently, her birthday is tomorrow, so everybody hit her up, say happy birthday, hit her with some positivity, and
here's
are we gonna awkwardly sing happy birthday?
No,
you don't want me to do that.
No.
Oh, especially with
I don't
your
want to ruin
connection.
her day.
You guys happy birthday to you.
It was just locked on you pouring drinks.
I've decided that to you. I've decided that Force Connect is like an NBA basketball game. The first hour is like, if I catch it, I catch it. But it's that last 30 minutes.
You got to get in. You got to get in at the end. It's when they take 1 minute and stretch it into 40.
Right.
That's
exactly.
what happens.
Thank you. So, Raven says, thanks for outing me. Well, I mean, it's your 24th birthday. So
happy birthday.
Yeah.
24. What? Are you trying to be mean? She's like 22, right?
I know, but I'm just playing. So Jerry, have you started reading High Republic?
I've started listening because that's the only time I can shove it in my brain is like while I'm walking, doing work, and driving a motor vehicle. So, you actually can operate a motor vehicle while tearing up because Jedi are showing up. I found out, so that was kind of neat. But no, I am, and I'm wanting to move on to everything. I heard that you need to finish like Light of Jedi first, and then move to the comic, Pete. So I think you went a little backwards there. You're like a little.
You know why? Because
you're going a little George Lucas style there.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I went Clone Wars. I was like, I'm going to do this, and then I'll come back to this, and I'll come around to there.
We'll kill Trench and then bring him back, and then we'll stuff.
Yes. Yeah. And Nick, have you been reading? Have you checked any of it out yet?
I haven't checked any of it out, and I'm going to call on or reference our friend Andy, who made a comment earlier on in the evening in the live chat. I'm not sold yet, and I hate to be that guy because I'm excited about everything Star Wars. But I don't know. And it doesn't mean I'm not going to. There are lots of things that I wasn't sold on before that I love now.
Right.
I'm bad, and I'm bad at reading the books anyhow. But
thanks for saying that.
Audio books, Mark Thompson, away.
Oh yeah.
I just and get yourself that Audible subscription, man. I mean, power through.
I've got a bunch of them stacked up in there that I haven't gotten to either because I have a disgusting amount of podcasts and all the other things that I waste my time on. But it did help.
Sounds like
listening to you guys. I think Josh, you and Pete are kind of in a similar vein a little bit, trying to figure it out. And I don't know. It may have been JD, somebody that said, for some of us of our age, our era, expanded universe, some of the things they talked about with the Force, that would kind of feel rewarding for, some of us. So I'm certainly intrigued. I just haven't gotten there yet.
I will say that it pays to not spoil yourself on some of the little things they've been kind of holding back on, like talking about the exact nature of the knives. Like, I'm out.
Right.
Forget this guy. Oh, we're going to still talk about this? But the Nihil are... they're really cool. It's an interesting concept for it is different than anything we've seen.
Yeah,
believe it or not.
Sure.
So, and it again, they're doing a lot of intriguing things in there. There's a lot of No, I don't want to say that because that'll give stuff away too. Which Pete, you may even know what I'm talking about because you skip ahead like Clone Wars style. So
right.
But it does interesting things with stuff that we've grown up with being in Star Wars, right? Like things that are like integral to it. They kind of take it and I don't just look at it from a different angle. And that's I always love when they do stuff like that because it really just adds a fresh coat of paint and just goes, oh, well, see, now my brain's going different because, I'm crazy about Star Wars. My internet connection is crazy tonight. So I'm going to, like, when I'm watching Clone Wars, when I'm watching the movies, I'm going to the stuff that's really stuck with me from books, comics, the shows, whatever, and going like, oh, the concept would apply here. Like, what would that look like in this situation? And, stuff like that. I love that kind of stuff. So
that's cool.
So there. I'm done.
No, it's fine. I think it's, Nick, you haven't read it yet. Jerry, you've started. How do you feel this is going to work with the sort of keeping the Star Wars canon going along?
I want to tie this into something that we talked about on Tuesday that after re-listening, I feel like I did a terrible job answering, which was when you talked about Dave Filoni and Luke and kind of the fixing / not needing to fix, but the ability that Dave Filoni has. And I think this ties into the bigger High Republic question. I put on your Facebook post of that clip, and I don't know if everybody got to see it. The thing that I love about it and what I thought about after the fact is Dave Filoni is the person that can see the whole board. Yeah, Dave Filoni worked directly with George Lucas. He apprenticed with him truly. He wasn't working on it during the original trilogy, but he got as close as anybody could have gotten, basically working with him so directly, then to come through Clone Wars, through the Disney sale, and then onward. I'm sure at some point he was, very peripherally had some sort of connection in the sequel trilogy, whether it was as a story group member, as some sort of consultant. Those conversations happen somewhere. Yeah. And so then to bring it full circle to Mandalorian, like he saw the full board, and he, even as we say about the gallery episodes, he's the guy that you go to at the table and go, what color is this supposed to be? What is this? And those things are going to apply even to the lore that's going to be more strong in High Republic when we're getting more Jedi, more of that story. And so I think that the answer to your question Tuesday is yes. Dave Filoni is kind of the equalizer. He's the one that has the biggest, longest view, other than George Lucas himself. And he has done it in such a good, humble way because he just clearly loves Star Wars. He doesn't care to be a personality. He cares to be the guy that loves and knows Star Wars the best. And he's using those powers for good, which we're thankful for. And I think as it connects to High Republic, I think, and of course anything can change. My mom doesn't know Star Wars. I said this Tuesday night, but she loves Mandalorian. She loves Grogu. She got one for Christmas. Right. But somebody said it earlier, like my daughter, who's 12, who loves Star Wars, is probably more likely to be into High Republic than I am, just seeing that on the surface.
I agree with that.
But it's another door. It's another equalizing space. Mm-hmm. And I go back to where we were in the 90s when we were reading EU books, and that's what we had. We don't have a lot of movies right now. We do have more TV shows coming. So if you're desperate for Star Wars or you just really want something new, that's where you're going to go.
It's an interesting point because if you Rick Milkey has turned.
I think Nick Milkey probably broke into the room and is trying to kick his ass right now. So we get that.
But I think if you look at this series or this project or whatever as the EU, right? I mean, let's imagine we didn't get the sequels. Let's imagine we didn't get Mando. We didn't get all this other stuff, and this stuff just came out. This was the Star Wars you were given. You would approach it from that perspective and sort of soak it all in. So I think that's the way we can run with it. You know, it is that southern internet. Sometimes it just knocks people out. Or maybe he was so excited he wanted to go into the comment section and post a comment about tonight's show with the hashtag Gimme Ray, and we'll give that Black Series away after. Maybe he's just that was more important than anything else that he had to say.
There's only so much moonshine for your internet.
You got to get them.
That's true. You got to make sure it's nice and lubricated, you know.
Exactly. So speaking of lubricated, Jerry, let me ask you a question.
Wow.
I understand. So Jerry is one of the.
This is only my second one.
Okay. Jerry is one of the co-hosts of the Bombad cast, and you guys
Really?
Yes, you guys. Did you know that?
Fascinating.
I'm actually not surprised, Jerry.
You should check that show out. And I think this is a very.
I'm probably really into it, right?
I think you would like it a lot, actually. But there's some news about Bombadcast. You want to share that tonight with us?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Scotty is finally shaving the stash.
Is that
he's shaving it? He figured he kind of looked. He's teaching children. It kind of looks,
Jerry,
it would have.
Jerry, I don't think that's the news that we're talking about. I think there's.
Well, I was gonna say it would have flown in the 1950s, but right now it just looks real pervy. But
right, but the word "live" is in your name now. Is there a reason for that, Gerald?
Well, I'm live right now, right? But
we
that's
can't
kind
know.
I know. Is it any better right now? I'm seriously hardwired into my internet. I am.
Engineering. What is
I'm
going
doing
on?
the best I can.
All right. Damn it.
Oh, flames! There's flames! Oh, my router has burst into flames. Oh my goodness! Too much gin. Too much gin.
Oh my goodness.
Well, you know what? Pete? There is some news, and if you guys checked Twitter today, you saw we dropped one of those, corporations making an apology, pictures of like a few paragraphs and stuff, but this was much, much better, much more of a happy occasion than sorry we got oil on the baby seals again. We are going to be moving. Yes.
Finish.
I was about to. Here we go.
If we were going to go into a palm olive situation, but
no. See, now I want to, but I'm not going to. Jerry the Live Junkie. Okay, for one thing, that sounds horrible. But we in the Bombadcast not only are moving to Thursdays. Okay, so I know we're no longer gonna be a weekend show. We're no longer gonna be a weekend show. It's probably gonna be around. We're still thinking about our time, but it's probably going to be around 8 Eastern and stuff dropping. But we are going to be 100% live and in person, and hopefully not nude in Scotty's. That's on Scotty's side. He tends to. He has the prop closet costume kind of stuff going on. Is he still saying what the heck is going on?
Bombadcast is live. The Bombadcast is live. It's gonna be live. It's gonna be.
We are moving to Thursdays. We are a live show. Beyond the Blast Doors Network is now basically all live shows.
If you want more of this, tune in on Thursdays.
Jerry, thank you so much. I'm so sorry about your internet connection. It's just.
Is it still?
It's terrible. Oh! It's absolutely awful. But it's not your fault. We just want to say to you that we are so excited here at the network to have Bombadcast go live. Look, here's why. The Bombadcast live means that you get to show up in their chat room and participate with this madness. You get to throw in your thoughts. They're going to talk about them because they'll just talk about. They're going to go at it. It's amazing. I am the biggest fan of the Bombadcast live because it's. I think it's finally like the disconnect with the Bombadcast was that you couldn't talk to them, and now you can, and they're going to let you.
The live studio audience, right?
Yeah, it's going to be phenomenal. Jerry, I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited for Scotty.
You, sir.
I am not excited for your internet connection.
Yeah, so let's force push him out of here.
What the hell is going on, engineering?
Engineering.
I'm fired, aren't I?
Yeah.
Close.
So
close the Pornhub browser, please.
Wait, that could be it. Jackson could be just downloading way too much porn.
I think you just need to pop Jackson in on your own live cast and have him just shrugging the whole time. So
sorry.
All right, we're gonna force push you out as a network buddy.
All right.
We're gonna do it. I don't know. Let's do it Mace Windu style, where you think he probably lived if you did it.
I'm sure he lived. But
okay, Pete, you're on this. Let's do this, Jerry. We love you.
Oh man. Okay.
Poor Jerry's internet. I mean, look, there's two questions we asked tonight. It was like, what are you excited about the High Republic and what are you not? And the third question should have been like, can we start a relief fund for Jerry's internet?
Right. Let's do a GoFundMe for, everybody in the super chat, put some money in for Jerry's internet.
It's just, he had so much, he had a play and then it was all like, so,
yeah,
I don't know.
So, but here's the thing, and I'm really excited. As the Beyond the Blast Stars Network, we launched in April of last year. I can't believe it's coming up on a year. And when we did, we had this sort of we're a bunch of friends who make a bunch of cool content. We think that there's some sort of connection. We are now the only that I'm aware of. That's that's the caveat. The only network.
Only right now.
Hey, wait. That's all that matters. We are the only network that has 5 live shows every single night of the week, the weekday, when Monday through Friday, different shows, not the same show, 5 different shows. We got Holochronicles on Mondays doing all things collectibles. We got Around the Galaxy on Tuesdays. This Tuesday coming up, I got Amy Rickow. You may probably know her from social media. She just wrote a book. She is living the dream. She's writing a Star Wars book. Yes. On Wednesdays, you get Beyond the Blasters Live, which is now co-hosted not by me and Arzu Amin. It's David Amilati, Arzu Amin, and Scotty flippin' J-Ro on Wednesday nights.
Scotty J-Ro?
The viral sensation, Scotty J-Ro. On Thursdays, now you're going to have Bombad Cast. Just when you're weak.
Jerry Cable?
The Jerry Cable. And of course, Fridays, you're going to get this show, Force Connect, every Friday. So listen, we are please tell your friends, tell your family, buy a billboard, do one of those things where the plane flies over with a flag, do something.
Buy a billboard?
I don't know.
Love it. I love it.
Let's do it. And it's exciting to be here, right? Oh, JD Sleeseman, he's doing the internet fund. He needs to help Jerry get that connection.
We will send it to the people. So for just $5 a show, we can fund 30 seconds of Jerry's internet.
But Beyond the Blast Doors, we're just having fun. We are having fun.
We are.
And it was so great to hear from everybody tonight with the positivity. It's been, we said we're not going to talk politics, and we won't. And we're not going to talk about fan negativity, and we won't. But you know what? It is just so much fun to get together with this community on 5 nights a week. I mean, hey, you can't make the Tuesday night show? That's okay. Join us on Wednesday. Can't make Wednesday? Join us on Tuesday. Whatever. Let's all just have some fun. And we just love every single one of you for hanging out with us. It makes such a difference. And it makes things fun. It makes things fun for us. And it's so great to hear from you guys enjoying yourselves. And
I love this interaction. It's fun to do this call-in show because we get to drop people in. And by the way, if you're watching the call-in show and you haven't commented or you haven't dropped in, that's why we're here. We're not going to make fun of you. We might make fun of your internet. But other than that, we're very good. But
yeah.
I found the master switch.
All right. Nah, this guy, we got to get rid of this guy.
I think Jackson's the problem.
I love Jackson. Anyway, we need to see. I get a thing, and I just keep doing it. That's the way I roll. Actually, I want to bring in a person that I have a major beef with right now. And I'll tell you what this beef is. Look,
do you want to tell me the beef before he comes in?
I do.
Okay, please.
I do. This guy. He's really awesome. He's super handsome, and he knows a ton about toys, and I'm sick of it. So here he comes. Andy Lemire from the Holochronicles. Sorry, that was a joke because I love this guy. Oh, look at him. Look at him. Your camera. Oh, it's our secret box.
Hey, Andy, I just need to say 1998 called and they want their hat back. What the hell are you doing with that hat? No. Thank you.
There you go. He's a serious coach now.
That was serious, Andy. What's up, man?
Are you muted? Andy, are you muted? Yeah. You had one job.
Hold on. Just give me 1 minute.
You know what?
We're gonna have Jackson back now just to be the guy I yell at.
Gosh, I have to say, the reason his audio doesn't work is because you're not there. I know that because I watch your show and I know how this works.
Am I on now?
There he is. There he is.
This is Beastie Boys. This is very Beastie Boys.
All right.
Yeah.
So what you want?
what you want? Oh man, here, let me do this because this is more appropriate. I'll just go down here. Fletzer and Lemire.
Hey, so what are you guys talking about?
Show, yeah.
What are you guys talking about?
What's that stuff?
High Republic, other stuff. Okay. What do you got? What do you got, bro?
Well, I wanted to ask you a question. I wanted to ask you guys a question and the chat as well.
By the way, let's give a big old thank you to Gilster. I love having Gilster on. Let's give a big thank you to JD Sleeseman. JD was on. Thank you so much. You don't have to pay to come on this show, but we don't mind when you do.
But we will put your name up on the screen.
You know what? Maybe we will put you up.
Maybe we will start charging people.
But I wanted to ask you guys a question, and it's something that we've talked about in private a little bit, but texting is different than talking. And I wanted to ask you guys if you thought that at some point, do you think we'll either in book, or I would think it's more likely in book form, but do you think we'll ever find out if Ahsoka and Luke talk?
Can I go first?
Yes, Pete,
yes,
you
please.
May.
I think we will see Ahsoka and Luke talk in the Ahsoka series. I think if you, in fact, I posted a little clip from my conversation with Nick from Tuesday where I believe we will see that. I think that will be part of just a little part of the story, just another one of those little tips of the hat to show Luke. And I think that'll be the last time we see Luke in live action. And it'll be de-aged and all that, but it'll be great to see. I mean, imagine, especially, Andy, we talked with Mike Morisi and Michael Chen. We read your article about, that Vader Ahsoka ending in Clone Wars. To be able to close that story before, and here's how it all ends. Here's this we didn't talk about with Nick, but here's how it all ends. Ahsoka will die in her series. Sorry, folks. I know we love Ahsoka. I love her too. I don't want to see her die, but I want to see her welcomed to the Force Ghost, that other side, by Force Ghost Anakin, and that will break every one of our hearts as much as Grogu leaving Din Djarin. But she will find out from Luke that Anakin was saved. It'll make her feel okay. She'll make her sacrifice, and she'll be welcomed to the Force ethereal world by Anakin. That's my thing. That's my dream scenario.
All right, so that's your headcanon, right?
Right. But I do believe we'll at least see Luke tell her that story.
And Josh, do you have anything to add before I respond?
I would just counter because Pete, you spoke a great path in my mind too, but I would just counter with: do we need Luke Skywalker again? Can Ahsoka be her own Jedi? I mean, Luke had no influence over plenty of Jedi that maybe were surrounding him and dying, in those times. But and I'm only saying this to be the devil's advocate here. Is it important for us to see? Well, let's ask that question for Star Wars as a whole. Is it important for us to see Ahsoka and Luke connect in any way, or is Ahsoka a remnant of the past who has passed on her knowledge through her connection and obviously she helped Din point Grogu in the right direction?
So you bring up an interesting point. The only hole I feel in my prediction, my desirous hope that we'll see, the only hole in that is that, again, I go back to my dad as a viewer. He doesn't know the Anakin Ahsoka connection, so they'll have to make that clear to make that's effective.
Good. That's good.
So
yeah, if you're thinking like someone that knows the whole lore, then
somebody who knows the lore like us
at a base level of fandom, you might say like Luke needs to come back and tie everything together. Right? But hasn't it been the? I don't know. I'm not going to.
Andy, what do you got?
Much more.
So I think that would be reasonable, Pete.
Right.
But here's why I don't think it will happen, because I think you get all those same feelings and closure if Ahsoka indeed does pass in her story,
Right.
that if Anakin is there as a Force ghost to welcome her, I think you get all of that and you don't need Luke.
Right.
I think
That's true.
she finds out that he did make it. Maybe not. I mean, then, you know, as forced entities, they can chat it out, but hug it out.
They can do it later.
No, they can't hug it out. It's a lot of missing.
Whoa, where are you?
Oh, damn it!
Hey, come here.
Knuckles, hey, COVID, and they just stay 6 feet away.
Yeah.
Space COVID.
COVID.
But I don't. I mean, while the Luke drop in Mandalorian was damn near perfect.
Perfect.
I don't think they need to bring Luke back to get the closure you're looking for, Pete.
Yeah.
In Ahsoka and Anakin's story.
Did you just set Pete up to just smack?
Yeah, no, because
that's okay. I get it.
No, because talking it out sometimes is better than thinking it out. And then as soon as I heard Pete say it, because I up to just a second ago was kind of agreeing with Pete. That sounds like a great, and if that's what happens, then I'm not going to be disappointed.
Right.
Don't get me wrong.
Pete spoke some great headcanon. I was like, oh yeah, I'd do that. Yeah.
That's all good. But when I think about it, it's like, you know, I think we can still do this without having to bring back Luke and still let Ahsoka be Ahsoka's series without Luke in it.
Yes, I think so. I think you're right. Yeah. And as I said, it made more sense. Again, I think about the average fan who this Ahsoka person was cool. It was a neat episode, and clearly she was a Jedi and knew something, so that's great. But they
so just think,
the
last episode of the Ahsoka series, she dies. We're like 10 seconds away from the rolling credits.
Right.
She Force ghosts, and she sees, she just looks up and hears, or she goes, "Master." Da, 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 da. So then we all get to fill in the gap.
You hear snips.
Snip. And then I get pissed because I hated Snips. I hated that whole concept, and yet now I love Ahsoka. So.
Let me bring in another formidable person, and none other than Paul's Collectibles. He's here.
Wait, what are we seeing today in Paul's?
Oh gosh, he's got just the best background. It's the only reason to bring him in. It's not the only reason. Should I just say that a lot?
It's
the only reason to bring him in. All right, and Paul. No, I'm just kidding. Come back, Paul. I was kidding. He's leaving.
What
the hell, man? You don't let me do that. All right.
Wait, on a side note, though, I do need to contact Paul sometime after this, and I need a Clone Trooper helmet. I need one, and we'll talk. I need a Clone Trooper helmet. So,
got any doubles?
Let a brother know. I got you covered. Yeah.
All right, brother.
So, yeah. So I just quick check. Is my audio better than last time? Am I clipping out really bad? Is it okay?
You're not clipping.
Your audio is
you're
better.
locking up a bit. You're locking up a bit. That's all right.
I don't know why my audio or my video was doing that. I'm sorry. Now I got to work on that. I just fixed the audio, for goodness sakes.
Welcome to our world.
It's not me. I swear to God.
Yeah, get his ass. I'm done with him. I'm done. I don't put him out in the airlock. All right. Sorry. Yeah.
I came on here to make fun of Jerry, and look what's happening. See, this is karma. That's what that is. Yeah.
Be careful who you make fun of. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, Paul, no joke, man. Your internet sucks.
Yeah. It is really bad. Oh my God, I can't believe
but
this.
You know what? At least when his freezes up, we get a great
I know,
view.
at least, Paul, if you're going to freeze up, move. Just move when you freeze up.
So I watched.
There you go. Yeah, keep talking. Keep talking. We know it's gonna. No, get your.
Yeah,
no, get locked up on his thumb.
Sorry.
All right. We might
oh
need.
Oh my God, clear. Okay, there we go. All right, yeah.
We might. All right, Paul.
All right.
That's beautiful.
So I am
That's
the talking
way we
helmet
lock up.
display at this point. Yeah, I'll be the I'll be the talking helmet display. How about that? Okay. So number one, Pete, got you, bro. Get a hold of me because we got to work on this.
Yes.
Second of all, Ammo said, "Don't come on the air unless you got good internet." And I was like, "Yeah, I got that. Here I come." Now I'm going to come make fun of Jerry and look what's happening.
It keeps getting worse.
Number 3.
I love where you're at, Paul. Paul, stay where you're at because at least we get to look at that background.
All right. Okay, just check it out while I talk. Number 3, I just wanted to be part of the minority group here that's like,
in some books about some Jedis way back in the day and stuff. I don't know over here. Can you talk me into it, please? Because I'm not sure, So I'm trying to get there, you guys. I'm trying to get there. And I'm not hating on people that love them, because Ewok, wow, man, almost talked me into it. Sleeseman almost talked me into it. But I got to get there, and I'll try.
Yeah, Paul, I'm right there with you, Paul. For me, it's a book that I'm not going to read right now, and that's okay. But I think as more comes out and more people get hyped about it, then I will trickle into it a little bit. But right now, it's just something that's out there that people are excited about. I know Kevin Scott's a good author. I know all the people that are involved are solid at what they do. I'm just not there yet with you. And it's cool.
And by the way, can we, full disclosure, Pete and I we're trying to host a show. We're trying to talk about a topic. Right. We both feel the same damn way. I don't know what to do with this yet. And so I am very grateful and thankful to the people in our chat that pop in and they give me a reason. Like, look, I'm excited because of Brandon and JD and others that have come in and just given me some insight. I want to go read it now.
Yeah.
This is the issue. The Mandalorian we were excited about because not of the name, not of the time, but of the director, Favreau. Right. It was like, yes, I'm in. Let me just see what's happening here. So High Republic doesn't come with that yet. But I was trying to prove that point with Kevin Scott and Claudia Gray and the other people. I can't remember their names. Those top two. I'm very proud of myself for remembering two authors. Pete, you got this.
Charles Soule,
Charles Soule, and the other
Charles
people.
Dickens and some other guys and stuff.
Yeah. William Shakespeare, I believe, is
right. There's that one guy with a pen.
Clancy and Stephen King all have
this really quick. Yeah, this is what we're getting.
Yes. Oh my God.
I'm sorry. All right, we're devolving.
Now I have to apologize to Jerry.
I know you do. You came in harder. Like, at least Jerry kind of muddled through his convo, but you're just.
The great thing about Jerry's is his has been frozen like this for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I love Jerry. I love him.
There. Oh no, he just pepped up.
Oh.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Hold on. I want to do this. Can I do this really quick while you all are here? Hold on. I'll fix it in a second. That's all. I just wanted to put that guy in. I'm done with engineering,
awesome.
man. I'm just done with engineering.
This is Jackson's fault. Let's blame it on Jackson and take all of his figures.
Look,
what do you guys say?
I'm good. Just got to be done with that guy. He's fired.
Well, I mean,
all right. Paul, that's a great pick. That's actually a great one. Yeah. Oh, man. All right. Paul's collectible. Look, I
apologize.
You have to say a final statement. We have to get your terrible internet ass out of here in a force push. But we love having you. Yeah. We love your beautiful background. The funny thing is that even though your internet sucks, every time it locks up, it's like a high-def picture. So that's pretty good. That's something to look forward to.
That's a good camera.
Yeah, it's a great camera.
I thought I had a live streaming setup. Apparently, I don't.
Yeah,
you need bigger gerbils.
I think somebody's streaming Netflix upstairs. Anyway, any final comments on your way out, my man? We're gonna force push both of you out of here.
Thanks for having me.
We have to close this show.
We'll see.
Thank you, Paul. You're the man. We love you. Force push. Don't do the graphic yet. Well, let's just do it physically. Force push, Paul. Andy, any final comments? By the way, your camera looks fantastic.
That Portland internet.
Yeah. Nobody's over here.
This is it's been a good show. I've been following in the chat, and I like what we're doing here tonight. And I think we have a bunch of likes on the show.
Yeah, how many? We're up to. So we are up to 30, which was the magic number. Like I said, so here's what you got to do to win this. You got to go into the regular comments because I can't pull a winner out of the live chat. So go into the regular comments.
There you go.
And say something about the show. I don't care if you say something good or bad. Just say something about the show and put the hashtag.
No, I'll give you the thing. You bitch about engineering. They haven't done shit tonight. It's been terrible. Look, they have one job. You bitch about engineering. We'll
What's a samaflange? What the fuck's a samaflange?
Get him out of here. All right, move on.
All right. That's it. So thank you. Thank you, Andrew.
I said the hydro spanners.
That one? No.
Yes. All right, man.
All right.
This is what happens every time. It's like it's very progressive. It's very great.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we just and it's just a drunken. Did we force push Andy or did he just leave?
I think he just said, "I'm out of here. I can't take it anymore."
Good for him.
But you're right. And you know what? maybe we just need to start at this point in the show.
Right. Right. We should have a show for 2 hours and then bring people in when we're 2 drinks in and.
We're gonna have to start drinking it.
Done with engineering. I gotta tell you what, Captain. I'm done with that guy. I'm done with that.
So yeah. So that was. I think this was a good evening, my friend. I think everything went really well.
It was. In all seriousness, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for participating in the conversation about the High Republic. I am excited to go and read it, and the participants in here actually gave me some reason to go and finish it. I watched the panel. But I haven't delved into the book, and now I will. And I hope that it will kind of bring us to a point. I don't know. They're so good at this. They're so good at kind of like let's kind of set up the foundation, and then we'll call it back. And if you're not identifying with the foundation now, you're going to be behind. And as fans, I think we're all with Brandon and JD and. Whoever else that has already read them, they know what they're doing. They know that in 2 or 3 years they're going to have some knowledge that is beyond, and we'll have to play catch up. So,
yep, dude, this was a lot of fun. Will I see you next week? Will we do this again next Friday? I think we will.
Absolutely, I think we will too.
Awesome.
Unless I find something better to do.
Yeah, no, and that's always quite possible. So,
my final word would just be engineering. You're fired. And Pete Fletzer, you're a hell of a good host. Thanks for joining us tonight.
I enjoyed having fun with you as well. So until next time, we'll see you on Force Connect.